Thanks for joining us. I'm Nate. I'm here with my old friend Josie. We'll be here for a few minutes as we look into the wonderful wisdom of Proverbs. We're going to read chapter 1 all the way through, and then we will go back through it, and Josie and I are going to share some of our thoughts. Let's get started. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to understand words of insight, to receive instruction in wise dealing, in righteousness, justice, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. To understand a proverb and a saying, the words of the wise and their riddles. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and forsake not your mother's teaching. For they are a graceful garland for your head, and pendants for your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, "Come with us, let us lie in wait for blood. Let us ambush the innocent without reason. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive, and whole like those who go down to the pit. We shall find all precious goods. We shall fill our houses with plunder. Throw in your lot among us. We will all have one purse. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Hold back your foot from their paths, for their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed blood. For in vain is a net spread in the sight of any bird, but these men lie in wait for their own blood. They set an ambush for their own lives. Such are the ways of everyone who is greedy for unjust gain. It takes away the life of its possessors. Wisdom cries aloud in the street. In the markets she raises her voice. At the head of the noisy streets she cries out. At the entrance of the city gates she speaks. How long, O simple ones, will you love being simple? How long will scoffers delight in their scoffing, and fools hate knowledge? If you turn at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit to you. I will make my words known to you. Because I have called, and you refuse to listen, have stretched out my hand, and no one has heeded. Because you have ignored all my counsel, and would have none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when terror strikes you. When terror strikes you like a storm, and your calamity comes like a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then they will call upon me, but I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but will not find me, because they hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of the Lord, would have none of my counsel, and despised all my reproof. Therefore they shall eat the fruit of their way, and have their fill of their own devices. For the simple are killed by their turning away, and the complacency of fools destroys them. But whoever listens to me will dwell secure, and will be at ease without dread of disaster.
Don't you love this book, Nate?
I always have, Josie. The book of Proverbs opens like a wise mentor entering the room. He's not yelling, he's not slick, he simply speaks. And if we've got ears to hear, what follows could shape the way we live the rest of our lives. Now, let's look at it again. Let's walk through Proverbs chapter 1, verse by verse, and let this ancient voice guide us into something sorely missing today: wisdom.
Verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. This isn't just random advice. It's from a man who led a nation, built a temple, and made mistakes.
Verses 2-3. For gaining wisdom and instruction, for understanding words of insight, for receiving instruction in prudent behavior, doing what is right and just and fair. This is about boots on the ground living, real life. Wisdom shapes how we treat others, how we make decisions, and how we carry ourselves.
Verse 4. For giving prudence to those who are simple, knowledge and discretion to the young. This is a direct invitation to the next generation and a calling to older ones, men and women that have been around the block a few times, to give what they've gained.
Verse 5. Let the wise listen and add to their learning. No matter how wise you are, there's more to learn. The truly wise never stop listening. Verse 6. For understanding proverbs and parables, the sayings and riddles of the wise. Wisdom sometimes hides in the deep. It's found through reflection, conversation, and the voices of the seasoned in living.
Verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Fear here means reverence, recognizing God as the source of truth. It's the starting point of every wise life. Verses 8 and 9. Listen, my son, to your father's instruction, and do not forsake your mother's teaching. This is generational wisdom. That means it's meant to be passed down, not tuned out.
They ain't no way I could tally all I learned from my grandma and grandpappy. Mercy's sakes. Verses 10-14. My son, if sinful men entice you, it's always the same trick. Shortcuts, fast gain, false belonging. Boy, Proverbs cuts through all the noise. Verses 15-19. Do not set foot on their paths. Such are the paths of all who go after ill-gotten gain. Integrity matters. There are no shortcuts to a life well lived.
Verses 20 and 21. Out in the open, wisdom calls aloud. Wisdom's not hiding. She's calling from where you live, work, shop, play, and hang out. Josie, this stuff is just so absolutely practical. We can and we should tap into it every single days of our lives. Verses 22 and 23. How long will you love your simple ways? Turn at my rebuke. Why, oh boy, those rebukes.
Boy, don't I know it.
God's not stingy with wisdom. He's eager to give it. All he asks is that we turn and listen.
Verses 24-32. Since you refuse to listen, I in turn will laugh when disaster strikes you. This isn't God mocking. It's the ache of choices catching up. We reap what we sow. Verse 33. But whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at ease without fear of harm. There it is. Wisdom leads to peace, to stability, to safety that isn't built on control, but on trust.